Alright, so welcome back guys, and welcome to your first time here. I'm Vision Hero Binary Team, bringing you guys another video. Today I'm giving you guys my review for FearTWD Season 6, Episode 9, Things Left to Do. Now, if FearTWD is something you're interested in, don't forget to hit the subscribe button down below and hit that bell icon. Then I'm missing more FearTWD content from me. Moving forward, now let's begin. Now, this week's episode, in my opinion, was a really solid episode. I really enjoyed this episode. Now this is one where we actually get the lineup that we saw in the trailer, so this is really great. We had some great action sequences, and honestly, there was probably in this episode, it was one of those episodes that's so fast. There's a lot of things going where you don't really got time to breathe, and when you do have time to breathe, it's not short-lived. So that's one thing I liked about this episode. And you like I said, you got the lineup here, and you got Virginia, who is threatening to kill people as Morgan, returns her sister, which was really cool. She threatens to kill Daniel, like we see in the trailer. Really great stuff. Now, the one thing I didn't really like about the lineup is you had a lot of attention put towards Luciana, Sarah, Daniel, and Grace. However, Wes is also there, and it's like there's no point of him being there, which kind of sucks. I'm like, why did they just put him in the lineup? It just looked silly to have him in the lineup, yet he's just sitting there not having any attention paid to him. It just felt stupid. But you got Morgan, who ends up showing up in town riding a horse, how they did it in like old Western style movies and TV shows back in the day, which I really loved. I like that. And I said this before, I really love how they put in this whole Western Southern theme that they've given for The Walking Dead. I know people don't like that, but I feel like it's something different, and I feel like it distinguishes Fear the Walking Dead compared to the other two shows. You can look at Fear the Walking Dead and see that it's completely different from the other two shows. It's got this whole Western theme, and it just has its own identity given the whole, Southern Western feel. So I really like that. But like I said, you got some great action there. Morgan is, telling her he's not handing over Dakota to her. And you got Virginia, who goes to Victor saying it's time to get ready, like we saw in episode 2, about how, she was hoping he'd be ready for the big show when time came up to it. However, it's revealed that, like we kind of figured or kind of had a feeling about, is Strand was just playing the long con. And it's revealed that he actually did raise an army, but instead it was an army to go against Virginia. So Virginia feels betrayed, and we got a big shootout between, Strand and the rebels there, along with Virginia and her loyalists there. And you got Morgan is trying to get there to, save his people. Things go crazy, and Daniel and Grace are rushed off as bargaining chips, while everybody else is pretty much able to escape, which is really great. I really like that. But you got Morgan, who in the process is able to capture Virginia and plans to use her as a hostage in order to get his people back, which I really liked. I really liked that idea and that concept. So you got Morgan, who ends up capturing Virginia, like I said, and Virginia ended up getting hurt and shot amidst the chaos earlier in the episode. And Morgan decides to, take care, rest for a few minutes. Now, this is where we get one of the biggest reveals of the season in regards to Virginia and Dakota's relationship, as it was revealed that Dakota is actually Virginia's daughter. Now, this was a really big reveal for a lot of the fan base. From what I've seen, a lot of people did not see this coming. I actually had a hunch and had a feeling that this actually was going to happen. I honestly was going to make a whole Fury video regarding this, just never got around to it by the time the season returned, but I actually had a hunch. So compared to other people who were like shocked and had this oh my god moment, I was like, yeah, I saw this coming. So while it was a huge, reveal, big shocking moment for me, it kind of was a downer because I saw it coming, so it didn't have that big impact on me compared to everybody else in the fan base for the most part. But after a while, after resting for a bit, Morgan and Virginia head off to get back to the I forget what it's called. Someone tell me in the comment section what the name of Morgan's settlement is. I don't know the name of it. But he decides it's time to get moving again. However, once they get moving again, you got Sherry's crew with the whole SWAT truck who attacks, firing at Morgan and them. Which at that point Morgan is forced to, leave his vehicle behind and move on foot with Virginia. And they're trying to escape. And you got Sherry who shows up and holds Virginia at gunpoint and is prepared to kill her. And Virginia pretty much begs for her life and says that she doesn't recognize Sherry. But at that point, Sherry doesn't really give it two shits and it pretty much prepares to kill her. But Morgan and Dwight stop her in the process, much to Sherry's frustration. And you got Morgan and Virginia who's able to run off and get to safety. Now, like I said, I really did enjoy what they did here with this episode here. Great action sequences. Like I said, you have a few minutes to rest and to catch your breath, but it's very short-lived. So you got Virginia who is moving back towards Morgan's settlement. They pretty much arrived there, and they're ready to, take care of Virginia and kill her. However, amidst the chaos, even more chaos erupts as Sherry and her crew show up at the dam, as well as Strand and the other rebels show up at the dam, which at that point, there's another whole standoff there. Because you got this whole thing where both of Sherry's crew and Strand's group want to handle Virginia in their own way. However, Morgan refuses to do that and says that he's not going to do that because if they go down that route, they're no different than Virginia. Which is, I really liked how they put in that parallel. It was an interesting way of doing that, and it was just something different in that aspect. So I really like that. And you got the two other groups that are kind of frustrated with Morgan. Morgan pretty much brought Virginia out to execute her on his own terms. But like I said, he changes his mind at the end, puts his staff at the gate saying that the war is over. There's no point in ending it here. And Virginia is pretty much brought into his settlement and pretty much set in a jail cell, pretty much to rot. However, Morgan decides that he's going to give Virginia and Dakota the chance to escape and get out of there and pretty much, go on the run so that Sherry's crew and Victor's group can't go after them. But he also tells Virginia it's time to tell Dakota the truth, reveal that she's actually her daughter, which I feel like was definitely necessary, which Virginia does reveal that to Dakota. And I really like the whole, switch in Virginia and Dakota's relationship there. And like I said, they plan to have Morgan and Dakota, or Virginia and Dakota, leave. However, amongst this chaos, even more stuff goes crazy. As Virginia is being patched up due to the bullet wound by June talks to her regarding her own daughter, how she lost her. And this is something very interesting because I feel like a lot of people in the fan base were curious in regards to if June actually had a daughter, because it was mentioned early on in season 4, but it kind of got dropped after the fact. And a lot of people, due to the fact that June had so many aliases and a lot of people didn't trust her, there was a lot of mystery to her. A lot of people weren't sure if the whole thing about her having a daughter was actually true or just something she used to tell people and lie about. However, I guess at this point it is officially revealed that she does have a daughter and she wasn't lying. And they're talking about how they would do anything to protect their children. However, at the end of the day, you got June who turns around and executes Virginia for the death of John. Now, this felt weird. I don't totally understand this because Virginia's not the one who killed John. It was Dakota. So it just felt weird as to why she would kill Virginia and not Dakota. Like, unless she's going to kill Dakota later on, it just seems way out of the blue here that they would just have her be the one to execute Virginia. I just feel like there was a lot more build up for one of the other characters to kill her, whether it be Morgan, Dakota herself, or one of the other characters. It just felt weird to have June kill her. I get the whole avenging John's death, but Virginia, like I said, wasn't responsible for his death. It was Dakota. I guess you could argue that Virginia played a hand in John's death, but at the same time, she's not fully responsible. I mean, you could argue that she killed him. She killed Virginia partially due to that, but at the same time, it just felt out of the blue and weird. And then you got June, who pretty much leaves the settlement and abandons the place to go off on her own, which I kind of feel, is okay. It's something that I feel like it's an interesting aspect because you have June who leaves, and we can see later on in the season, because we know there's an episode dedicated to June on how she's handling John's death. So I really like that. It's a good way to have June separated to the group, and then later on see how she's coping, whether in her own separate episode, rather have it entangled in this episode or in future episodes. I really like that. And I forgot to mention earlier on in the episode, you got June who buries John, and she tried to take one of his guns off his body. However, Virginia's right-hand man took it off her, and Virginia and him were suspicious as to why she took the gun. We all know why, and they said, they're not. She's not taking it for sentimental value, even though we all know pretty much that's why she was taking it. They figured she was going to use it to kill Virginia or him, and you had Virginia's right hand man take it off her, which was fine. But like I said, very great episode. A lot of stuff going on. There was a lot of action, very little downtime throughout the episode, but I really did enjoy this. Again, the only things that really felt boggled down was June killing Virginia and the whole reveal that Dakota is Virginia's daughter. That just felt first, that I feel like that was already something I saw coming, and two, the other one just felt out of the blue. Overall, I did enjoy this episode, and if I had to give it a grade, I'd give it a 9 out of 10. A really solid episode. The only things, like I said, pulling it down a little bit was the Dakota reveal that I saw coming and the weirdness of June killing Virginia. It just felt weird, and I just saw the other one coming. So for that reason, that just pulled me out of it. It took off some points there. But overall, like I said, a solid episode. For this episode was supposed to be the mid-season premiere, and due to that, I think it definitely delivered. Compared to the previous episode, which was supposed to be the mid-season finale, which was very lackluster and kind of slow-paced. This is very fast-paced. There's a lot going on, very little downtime, and a lot of great stuff to happen in this episode, with just a few things that dragged it down for myself. But like I said, a 9 out of 10. Let me know your thoughts and opinions about this episode in the comment section down below. So yeah, guys, that's my review for Fear the Walking Dead Season 6, Episode 9, Things Left to Do. As always, if you like this video, don't forget to give it a big thumbs up and share. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button down below. Hit that bell icon. That way you miss more Walking Dead content from me moving forward. And you go follow me on Instagram and Twitter, which is linked in the best section of my YouTube channel. As always, it's been Vision Hero Binary Team, and I'll see you next time.